A candle left burning on an altar ignited the blaze that left behind significant smoke and water damage to Incarnation Catholic Church.
He says fire officials worked to contain the fire just before 4 a.m. When they arrived, flames were already visible on the first floor and roof of the church. Thankfully, they were able to put out the fire before it spread.
Church officials said it was a candle left burning overnight in one of the side altars that ignited the blaze. Fortunately, a parishioner spotted smoke in the early morning hours, potentially saving the structure itself.
The church has a long history in Minneapolis. It was built in 1910 and was recently added to the National Register of Historic Places.
It's going to be a rough road for the next several months, but we know that we're going to come through this.
There's a lot of preliminary business to do this morning. This thing is going to bring a lot of inconvenience, but also a lot of blessings. So hang in there. Nobody was hurt. Nothing that we had already repaired is damaged. The church needed a lot of cleaning. That was part of our upcoming capital campaign, probably in 2023. It's going to be done much sooner than that. So there'll be some blessings, but there'll be inconvenience. So glad you're here this morning.
Welcome back, friends, to Incarnation. Father Kevin to give you a little update on what's happening inside the church. You already hear the noise, but take a look right up over my shoulder here, and you'll see why the place has to be cleaned. Part of that marble has been cleaned. Another portion of it has all the soot that was accumulated by the fire. What was cleaned here was only what could be reached by some lower scaffolding. But now what we're doing is installing scaffolding in the main body of the church. This is why we won't be able to be in here for several months. We're already making better progress than we thought, but I'm not going to try to promise you a date yet. Stay tuned. We'll pretty soon be back on the second floor, the main church, but I'm an additional 4 stories above that floor on scaffolding that has been installed. Why are we having the scaffolding installed? To do some cleaning and painting and so on that you'll get to see in our next update. We've begun the process of repainting and sealing the ceiling of the church. We're able to restore the original look of the ceiling. Look how bright and beautiful those colors are, and they will be drawn out without being overwhelmed by a more polish and shine from the ceiling. They'll be drawn out so that you can enjoy the colors in a better lit church. On the other side of this wood that is the ceiling, an overcoat that will prevent any further smoke escaping from the wood, and it will keep the wood, preserve it for a century and more to come, is being put down. On top of that, we will have new electrical installations which are 21st century code compliant, and over that, a new layer, solid layers of insulation, so our church will be more efficient. We're up here today in a view I hope you'll never ever have to see again.
This is the part of the church that was most damaged by the fire. The fire started in a chapel that's just down to my left, your right, and you can see the bricks were damaged. The fire was so hot. We're in the process of replacing those bricks right now. Meanwhile, the ceiling also burned. If you look directly above me, this is the only place where it was burnt all the way through the rafters to the outside. And I'm happy to say all that reconstruction was done just this last week of June. Our roofers have it partially covered and will finish up in the next week or so. Then inside, all of this will be scraped down to as clean as it can be. New bricks placed in where the old bricks have turned to powder, and then a new ceiling put in. When our church was built a century ago, this was painted here using an ancient technique called fresco secco, meaning dry fresco. Today, that artwork is no longer done, as far as we can tell, anywhere in the U.S., but it's been carefully duplicated and attached in such a way that when you are in here, you'll be able to enjoy this and many, many other details of great beauty. The scaffolding that has been here for the last 3 months as the ceiling and other high parts of the church were being repaired is in the process of leaving. The sanctuary has already been opened, and perhaps at this point you can't see just how beautiful it is, but colors are restored and brighter, bricks are clean, the place is going to glow. Behind me you can see the result of a very thorough cleaning and restructuring of the protections for our stained glass windows. Smoke had infiltrated through the stained glass and out to an outer protective layer that was in place. That layer was removed, the windows cleaned, and now new covering is being installed. You can see how wonderful the light is. Come on inside. We're not ready for you yet, but we're getting close. As you'll be able to see soon, the floors have all been redone, the ceiling has been repainted, stained, sealed. The altar area we think is just stunning. Now, we're not going to have pews in here for another couple of weeks. But we'll start to install most of the pews by the 26th of September, and then this whole space will be available to you. As you can see, we have many of the pews already installed, but many more will be installed during this first full week of October. Because we had these pews ready, we had masses here on the weekend of October 1 and 2, and God willing, that's going to continue for a long time to come. Do please come and join us. So grateful to all who have been so supportive.